Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to episode 159 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
This week, we want to send our thoughts and prayers and good wishes and everything else out to the folks down in LA dealing with all the fires. It's just so tragic to see what's going on in those communities. And I think Joe Rohde shared a perspective, kind of put a Disney twist on this, in that Altadena, one of the towns that was really just ravaged by the Eaton fire, was just, whole neighborhoods are just wiped off the face of the earth at this point. And there's a ton of Imagineers who live there, especially from the early days of Imagineering getting going out in the area. And it's just, my heart goes out to all those folks who have been impacted, whether there's a Disney connection or not.
Yeah, just the level of devastation there. I just, seriously, I can't comprehend it. We've driven by there on the way, on road trips and everything, and it's an absolutely gorgeous area. And, just very, very sad.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we'll transition over into what we are going to talk about this week, which is Mele Kalikimaka, y'all. We spent the holidays in Hawaii, and yes, there was a Disney aspect to this, and we will share that. We spent about 6 nights at Disney's Aulani Resort, and oh my gosh, we fell in love with that resort all over again. Now, we already have 2 DVC contracts at Aulani, so it's not like we didn't know it was amazing, but
we haven't been back in a while.
It had been quite a while since we've been there, and I cannot wait to get back.
Yeah. But we didn't start there.
No, we didn't. We started on Kauai. Well, technically, we started here in Seattle.
Yes.
And we flew over to Hawaii on Christmas morning. We had an early morning, 8 o'clock in the morning Christmas flight over to Hawaii, and hopped through Honolulu over to Kauai, and landed ourselves at the wonderful Sheraton Kauai Resort in Poipu, which is on the southern tip of the island. We had a 1-bedroom suite. This is their, I forget, Encore or something like that. They're still trying to sell us timeshare vacation stuff. So this is, hey, kick and deal for 5 nights, and you have to sit through a 90-minute timeshare thing. And we said, okay.
Yeah, it was a dirt cheap price for Hawaii for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so we did that. I will say we did not buy into their timeshare, especially this resort. It's nice, but it is converted hotel rooms. Yeah. So even the 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom suites are pretty small and pretty cramped. Sterling and Caitlin ended up sharing a hide-a-bed on a fold-out couch. So, sorry, kids.
We were under the impression that we could pull another cot in, but there was absolutely no room in the inn.
No, there was no room in the inn. There was barely enough room for that hide-a-bed.
Yeah, there's barely enough room there. And this was the Sheraton Kauai Resort in Poipu.
It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous location.
It is.
But yeah.
For a 1-bedroom, it was small.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And there was no storage.
No, there wasn't. That was
we went to unpack, and we're like, wow, the master bedroom has 3 drawers.
No,
literally.
It really didn't. It had a nightstand.
True.
That had a drawer or 2. Yeah. I basically lived out of my packing cubes while we were there.
It was, yeah. I had 2 drawers and packing cubes, and it was
a good place to lay our heads in the evening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. It had a nice little kitchenette area. There was a stove there that you could cook on.
Yes. Had a full-size fridge.
Yeah, a fridge. Yeah. That was there, so.
That was there.
The stovetop was actually my toiletry area because of the lack of storage space. So,
You know what? We were in Hawaii. We made do. It's
did.
Not exactly horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to a luau that evening that
did.
we first arrived.
The
This
resort
is-
had a luau that evening.
Yeah, this is the Auli'i Luau there at the Sheraton, and it was really gorgeous. It's right oceanside on the lawn, right next to the building, right next to the beach. Quite fantastic. Great food, great show, and fire dancers and all the rest of that stuff. You can't really beat Christmas Day having a luau at the beach in Hawaii
Yeah.
in your shorts and a nice Hawaiian shirt and a fruity drink. Like
Exactly.
this, we're roughing it here.
I do want to say, I don't know if I want to do a luau again.
Really? Why do you say that?
We've seen them all at this point, maybe? I don't know.
Been there, done that?
Been there, done that. Yeah, especially with something that we got into a little later on Oahu. I don't know. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd do a luau again, especially due to just the cost that these things.
Yeah, that's true. You're getting a really cool dinner show
Yeah.
and a very, very good, but a very, very expensive buffet.
Yes. And I'm saying that for us because we have been to multiple luau's at this point. This is
That's
probably
fair.
our 7th or so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. We've seen them.
Yes.
We're good, I
we
think.
We have. We got up the next morning. We had an early call, which was fine because we were still, 2 hours off of the time change. So it wasn't too bad. But we needed to be over to the airport at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
There on Kauai because we weren't leaving, but we had a helicopter tour around Kauai with Blue Hawaiian helicopters. This was their first flight of the day. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes. And Sterling and Caitlin, their first helicopter trip.
Yes. Well, technically, Caitlin's second,
Technically, yes.
but her
no.
first one, she was still unborn, so it's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah. And Sterling was a bit trepidatious on this. Wasn't entirely sure about getting into a helicopter. And we let them know that this is not a small helicopter. It is one of their larger ones. It is a nicer one.
Yeah.
And very safe. And I can't remember exactly what we said to calm them, but
I know exactly what it was.
what was it?
Sterling found out that they were going to sit in the front seat next to the
that's what it
pilot.
was. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we're good.
Yes.
This is great.
That's right. Yeah, so Sterling sat right next to the pilot, and then Caitlin sat next to Sterling, and Nathan and I were in the back seat. And the
Yes.
back seat seats 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just us.
It was just our
because
family. Yep.
We're bigger folks, and so we get to buy half a seat extra. And yeah, it's fine. We ended up with a private helicopter. Here's me not complaining.
Yeah. Well, Nathan and I did this tour last year when we
Yeah.
were on Kauai. And one of the reasons we wanted to go back to Kauai was we wanted to show the kids this absolutely stunning island. The topography of it, the geography of it is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And what better way to see all that than by helicopter?
I can't think of a better way.
Yeah.
This was absolutely fantastic. The one thing that I remember reading from last time, and I totally forgot about, if you're going to do a helicopter tour, you should wear black. And I mean, like, wear leggings or wear like black running pants. I know it's Hawaii and it's warm. Don't wear shorts. Don't wear like a white t-shirt. Wear dark colors because all of that reflects off the glass.
Yep.
And you will see yourself in the pictures.
Yes.
So just bear that in mind. Wear black when you're doing a helicopter tour.
It was quite sunny. It was nice and clear. There's maybe a slight haze a little bit later into the tour, but
Yeah.
we lucked out in this one like we did the last one, that we could see everything.
Yes, yes. And it was hazy, and come to find out, it's actually fog
Yes.
that was blowing off of the Big Island because one of the Kilauea, that's right, was burping and having some stuff for the last several weeks. And so this was a volcanic fog, or VOG as they call it. And so there was just a little bit of a haze in the air, but it was still absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And yeah, I love Kauai. Absolutely love Kauai. We ended up doing a little bit of a driving tour around some spots as we enjoyed the day. Kind of went up towards the North Shore on Kauai. We ended up, one of those points we stopped at was the beach where they filmed the first season of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool. And I don't remember if it was this beach or a different one that we stopped at, but there was just a dog there that
Yes.
basically decided that Caitlin was their new person.
Just came right up and sat down next to Caitlin and kind of leaned on her and put his head into her hand. And it was just like, wow. It's a beautiful, like reddish brown kind of golden retriever-y, whatever you call those dogs.
Yeah, it's a
Awesome.
golden. Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out it was one of the guys who was off surfing. It was his dog, and he had a buddy on shore who was keeping an eye on a couple dogs, I think, from folks who are out surfing. So,
There was a couple of them, but yeah, just a beach dog hanging out, waiting for their person and adopting Caitlin for the half hour that we were sitting on the beach.
completely happy-go-lucky dog.
Yes,
I loved
yes.
it.
And of course, super gorgeous.
Yeah. We also went out to the lighthouse at Kilauea Point. And no, this isn't the same Kilauea as on the Big Island. This is different, same name. This is a wildlife refuge, and it's just, there's birds, like seabirds. You can see like these huge, enormous seabirds with like 7-foot wingspan floating around and everything. The surf was up. It was like high surf warnings coming from the north and west facing beaches pretty much the whole time we were out there in Hawaii. And so there's these giant rollers crashing into the cliffs, and you can hear the thunder, and it was gorgeous.
It was really cool. And there was a lighthouse there.
Yes.
This is the northernmost outpost of the main Hawaiian island chain.
Yeah. I could live out here for sure. I would be very, very happy. Maybe not on Kauai, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Some of these waves that were crashing against the cliffs there were humongous.
Oh, yeah. We have pictures of some spray crashing up on some cliffs on some rocks. I would say is 120 foot tall splashes. Easy.
Yeah, very big. We did a lot of driving around and stopping at places for this day and just doing the wonderful shaka tour over of that area. It was good.
Yeah. The next day, we decided to do some driving tours. We had done a driving tour up towards the Nepali coast when Alicia and I were out there last year in October of 2023. And we wanted to show the kids some of those sites. And so we did that and started off with a visit by the Kauai Coffee Company and stocked up on some stuff for my folks and made our way out to the Nepali coast, saw the Waimea Canyon. It's just absolutely gorgeous views and vistas. This whole drive is just incredible.
Yeah, we couldn't go to the very end of the road though because there was construction or something going on. Basically, the road was closed, so we couldn't go to the end, which was unfortunate because I kind of wanted to walk a little bit, and I know Caitlin wanted to do that too, do a little bit of hiking, but it would have taken, I think it was like 1.5 miles from the last point to get there.
Yeah.
And you'd have to go over basically the tarmac or the road to get there. And I was like,
No thanks. No thanks. There's always another time.
There's always another time. Yeah.
We did stop and have lunch at the Kokee Lodge up there. Love this place. We found this place last time when we were out there. The food is so good.
It's very good.
And then we decided to go back to the scene of the crime from last year, which was where I decided to go get second-degree burns on my feet.
You left your souls on the beach.
Exactly. On the superheated beach out at Polyholly State Park. This is down at the end of a 5-mile gravel road and potholes and all sorts of fun stuff. You do need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to get out there. Do not try it with your little sedan that you pick up from your rental car company. You need to make sure you have an SUV that's 4-wheel drive.
I don't know that I'd call that a gravel road. That is a dirt road with some major pothole bumps.
It used to have gravel on it in places. How's that?
Maybe. Yeah.
And then it's sand at the end.
It's sand at the end. It is 5 miles of bumpy and crazy.
Yes.
And the kids had a grand old time in the back of the car. There was a lot of giggling going on while we were driving.
That was fun, but it was worth it. Mm-hmm. We got down onto the beach. We had shoes this time. Nobody got burned. For the sand was not as hot as it was last year. Nowhere near, but we were still all very safe and just enjoyed the surf. The waves were huge and rolling in. The vistas were gorgeous. This is kind of at the western tip of Kauai. And it's kind of where this mountain range just meets into the ocean. And so it's kind of the end of the beach that wraps around the southern side of the island and hits into these cliffs. It's just gorgeous. We're using the same words over and over and over again, but it is. It's just stunningly gorgeous.
And it's quite interesting. We were there for quite some time. We were walking along the beach, and Sterling and I wanted to get our feet wet, so we went kind of into the water a little bit, and it came up pretty fast, and I got pretty soaked.
A little too far.
A little too far. It was so much fun.
Caitlin and I were standing back, and I saw how far you guys had gone down. I was like, nope, this, not good, not good.
I got very wet.
Yes, you did.
There was a big splash. It was fun. One of the things that I thought was very interesting is we walked a little farther down, and there were some rocks, and I sat down on the rocks, and Sterling literally was just standing out and staring at the ocean for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which that really impacted me. I don't know why, but that really impacted me, just watching them watch the ocean and be in the moment and relaxing and just taking it all in. We don't see them doing that very often.
Yeah, just calm and not doing anything and just, being one with nature. That is not Sterling's MO. No. And that was really cool. That was, as a parent, that was really, really cool to see.
And Caitlin sat down next to me and was building little things in the sand, inappropriate things in the sand. It was pretty funny.
Well, if you find yourself down on the southern side around Poipu on Kauai, do yourself a favor and have dinner at the Koloa Pizza Kitchen and Bar. This place is incredible. The food is absolutely amazing. The drinks are fantastic. We had a half and half pizza that just was to die for.
Very good.
It was so, so good. And we lucked out because I don't do reservations. They may do call ahead for their list, for their seating list, but I'm not sure. But we walked up and they had just turned away a party of 5, saying it was going to be like 25 or 30 minutes to wait. And then it was me, and I said, hey, we're a party of 4. And the hostess looked at the list and then mentioned to somebody else, like, has this party ever showed back up? And no, they had been called like 2 or 3 times and hadn't showed up. And so we were sat right away in their table. So because it was just a 4-top and it was, man, I have never had timing work out for us like that at a restaurant. And that was pretty magical.
It was great. That area also has a lot of other restaurants around there. That's really the only one that we've seen. But there's a nice little area with lots of shops and other restaurants.
Yes. Well, we've seen the other ones. We just haven't tried it. But there's looks like a great burger place, and there's a ice cream place in there. There's all sorts of stuff there in Koloa.
Yeah. There's actually something like across the little alleyway. There's a whole other area there that we haven't looked at.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe someday. Maybe not.
Or
we'll
maybe
get there.
Not. Yes, we'll get there. And we'll get there soon.
So on Saturday, we decided to have a resort day and just kind of lay around. Alicia and I owed the Sheraton or Marriott Vacation Club, whatever it was, 90 minutes of our time so they could try to sell us on timeshare. to us, this is a fair deal of, we pay you a very small amount of money. You give us a room and we have to give you another 90 minutes of your time, or of our time rather. That's fine. We're willing to do that trade-off.
Yep.
So we ran over to the resort restaurant over on the beach called Lava's for breakfast. And as we were walking over, Alicia decided to check in at the pool desk, and lo and behold, they had a bungalow available for the day that's right by the pool, and the pool is right next by the ocean. And so we had a home base for the day, which was absolutely fantastic. So we had breakfast and then did some swimming in the ocean, and we're hanging out in the bungalow, and I went to go walk back over to the beach to hang out with Sterling in the waves, and slipped, and my bad knee is now my oh my gosh, it's broken again knee. We didn't know how bad at the time, but yeah, I basically did a pile drive of my left knee down into the concrete and sat down very aggressively and kind of messed up my back. So hooray for being old. I spent the rest of the day with a bag of ice on my knee, and Alicia went over to the little convenience and I guess tchotchke shop that's there at the hotel and got me a 6-pack of beer. So thanks, hon.
Yep. I think it was a 12-pack, but...
Well, it was 6 really quick soon thereafter.
Yeah. It was actually a good thing that we had the bungalow this day, so you could put your foot up and rest in the outside area.
Yes.
And there was actually quite a bit of rain this day, too.
There was. And the bungalow is kind of like a fancy tent. It had a TV in it, and so we were able to watch the surfing channel all day.
Yes, which is what we do when we're in Hawaii.
Our Hawaiian tradition. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. We did not buy any more timeshare points.
No.
They did offer us another encore.
They did.
To come back. And we said, we love Kauai, but I keep getting broken here, so no. But they said, but you can go to one of the other islands, and we said, okay. So yeah, we'll be trying again to see if maybe in a couple years or sometime within the next 2 years we're interested in Marriott Vacation Club. We're going to check out Kona on the Big Island, I think, next time. So we shall see what we shall see.
Mm-hmm. That evening we had a fancy dinner, just Nathan and I, a date night.
Yeah. On our way to date night, though, we had to stop by the pharmacy.
Yes.
Because I needed a cane.
You needed a cane.
Yeah. Alicia comes out, and she had gone in to get some like extra strength rapid release Tylenol, and she found some Aleve, like back pain stuff, and I forget a couple other things, and and a cane.
Oh, I got beer.
Oh, and she got beer. She came out, walked out, and she had all this stuff. She had a cane with her. It was like great. And a case of beer. I was like, I love you. I love you so much. You are my best friend in the world. You know exactly what I need. So this cane, I'm surprised TSA let me fly with this cane. It is a club.
It is so heavy.
It's like 5 pounds. It's insane. My wrist started hurting eventually because it's so hot, so heavy.
There were only 2 to choose from, and the other cane was just like that, except for it had 4 feet on the bottom. Yeah.
No, this one was, this was a deadly weapon for sure in the right hands.
It's very heavy.
But we drove over to the southeast point of Kauai and had dinner at Tide Pools Restaurant. This is at the Grand Hyatt Kauai Resort, which I will say I would love to try someday because that resort, holy cow, looks amazing.
That is a grand resort indeed. It really is. Very speaks of old money, I guess, is the only thing I can think of.
Yes. Colonial, one might say.
Oh, yeah, one might say that. Yes.
Anyhow, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Also, a PSA for folks, if you will. If you get a flat tire, maybe pull over to the side of the road and call for some help. We showed up, and there was a bunch of police cars there at the entry for the hotel, and they were all around this big SUV that had clearly blown a tire and kept going, and caused damage and was running on the rim.
On the rim, basically.
Yes. Yeah, it turns out that this woman, I forget what country she was from, did not speak much English, but decided to just drive back to this hotel, didn't quite understand the whole concept of valet parking, and refused to give the valet her car keys, went off to a bar, started drinking. Somebody tried to interact with her to get her to try to understand, and she threw her drink at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the police got involved, and you're not allowed to throw drinks at people. So, yeah, I appreciate the valet. He earned his extra $5 for telling this story on our way out.
When we got the car on the way out, the valet popped up and we gave him a tip. And it's like, here's $5 for a tip for getting the car and another $5 for the story.
Right.
So, he was very happy to relate the story to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Tide Pools Restaurant.
Tide Pools. Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I thought the location and the restaurant itself was absolutely gorgeous. I wish we had gotten there a little bit earlier while it was still light out.
Yeah.
This is basically a restaurant on top of a pool that is full of koi fish and just gorgeousness.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Polynesian lagoon.
Yeah. It's like,
And I would say that the restaurant is sunken down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're sitting at these booths, you're roughly maybe a foot, like your head, your eye level is a little bit above water level.
Mm-hmm.
It's really gorgeous. We had
but yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
We had a late dining reservation though. It was super busy. Remember, this is between the holidays.
Yeah.
This was like December 28th. And like, I'm glad we were able to get a reservation there. The food was really good too.
I thought it was okay. I don't know that, well, it's expensive. I don't know that it matched up to the price.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But also, Hawaii is really expensive in the first place. Like, so I'm trying to reconcile the price with like regular.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if this was at sunset, it would have earned the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was not. We were the last rotation through. We were some of the last guests in the restaurant.
Yeah.
We weren't rushed.
No.
But they were definitely serving us at a faster pace. I would have loved to sit and enjoy.
Yeah.
Now, I was also in pain.
Yeah.
So there's a little of that too. But I would love to try this again under different circumstances and a different timing. Mm-hmm. So there you have it. It's worth a shot.
Maybe a lunch would be good there.
Oh, yeah. That's also a great idea. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know if they're open for lunch.
They
I don't
are.
know. We'll have to find out.
I think they are.
I bet you the internet knows.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The next day.
Yeah, this was Sunday and the 29th. And I was going to go hiking with Caitlin. Mm-hmm. And that did not happen.
No, that did not happen. Sterling and I dropped Caitlin off to go hiking, and she did, I can't remember what it was, but it was about a 2-hour or 1.5 hour hike for her. And while she did that, Sterling and I kind of tootled around. There was a little Shaka guide for that area, so I had that on. And then went back to pick her up. We looked at a couple of like waterfalls and stuff like that.
So, Alicia, you mentioned the Shaka guide. What is that?
It's an app that you can download for your phone that gives you a guided GPS-based tour of Hawaiian islands. And I think they do national parks now too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we found this years and years ago.
Yes.
And have used it for multiple trips. It is great. We learned so much with it. We go to a lot of places that we really wouldn't have seen otherwise. And it's nice. It'll, as you're driving, it figures out where you are and will give you nice music in the background and tell you all about the culture, the history, everything about the area.
It tells you cool stories.
Yeah.
It tells you cool places to go look at, where to get food that might be good. It's really quite fantastic. So this is Shaka Guide. You can find the app on your app store, or I think it's shakaguide.com. No, we're not sponsored, but we heavily endorse them.
Yep.
So you got up to something else, didn't you? Some Hindu temple?
Yes, there's actually a Hindu temple on Kauai, and we were able to go take a look at that. One of the interesting things about this place is they do ask that you not wear shorts or tank tops. They have sarongs that you can borrow. So Caitlin was wearing a tank top because she was hiking, so she just like wrapped a sarong around her top, and we were all wearing shorts because Hawaii, hot, and we all tied sarongs around us. This place was amazingly gorgeous. Just the scenery, the lushness of the gardens. They had a temple there that was open, and usually you cannot go in there because it's a place of worship, and they were worshiping. But they said if we took our shoes off, we could go inside.
Oh,
So
wow.
Caitlin and I took our shoes and socks off, and walked inside, and it was really so peaceful. And there were a couple of people singing in there, and just inside, we couldn't take pictures or anything because,
Sure.
like I said, it's a place of worship. And just, like I said, very peaceful, very beautiful, really cool to see.
That's amazing.
They also have a hand-carved granite Hindu temple over there.
Wow.
Of like white granite. We did not go over there. They do guided tours to go over to this place. We could kind of see it. It was off in a distance, and we have some really neat pictures of it, just kind of over there. Like, I wouldn't mind going back there and taking the trek out there to see what it looks like.
I would have loved to see all this. Unfortunately, I was on the lanai. Well, I mean, fortunately, I was on the lanai drinking beer, but self-medication at its best.
Yeah, and the kids and I stopped off at a couple of other places while we were out, did a couple really short hikes because I'm not good at hiking. And one of the places we stopped had rainbow eucalyptus trees.
Oh,
And I don't know how to describe them other than they are eucalyptus trees that have like rainbow bark.
yeah.
Like beautiful colors, kind of stripy patterns of bright greens, oranges, yellows. They are funky trees. I remember I'd wanted to see these, and it was really neat that we were able to go to this area and just take a look at them.
I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of these around Lahaina when we were there years ago, obviously before the fire.
Yeah.
Kind of in that downtown area near the banyan tree. I remember there being rainbow eucalyptus.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Fires, Lahaina, man.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we finished off our Kauai leg of the trip that night at the Rum Fire restaurant. This is back at the Sheraton in Poipu. This is a beautiful restaurant right perched on the point, the southern point there of Kauai. And we got seated at a very special table.
Yeah.
This is right next to the windows with a beautiful overlook of the water and facing the sunset, but it is table 53. And this restaurant has a program called, oddly enough, the Table 53 program. And they donate 100% of all of the revenue, less tax and tip, but all of the revenue that is generated at this table by parties is donated to a charity. And they rotate through local charities every month. The month that we were there in December was the Kauai Hospice. And so our entire check, again, less the state sales tax and all the rest of that stuff and the tip, were donated to the Kauai Hospice, which I think is an absolutely fantastic program.
Yeah.
They've donated something like $700,000 or nearly $700,000 at this point off of that table. This is a great idea. If you happen to own a restaurant, like if you can do this, this is a really cool idea.
It is. It is. The check that they have up there, like they have a humongous check that's whiteboarded, and they write the amount on there. As of August 2024, they had donated $646,803
Right.
to causes around the island.
Right. It's a lot more than that now.
Yeah.
But I was really kind of taken aback by that program and thought that was really,
in a good way.
Really quite special. Yeah. The food at Rumfire was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Service was great. This is a great restaurant for folks to try. Along with dessert, Alicia and I also indulged ourselves with a couple rum flights. One was kind of a more traditional Caribbean rum flight, and Alicia tried a local rum flight.
A Hawaiian rum flight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Caribbean rum more than I did the Hawaiian rum.
I did as well. And our very favorite Zacapa 23 was on there.
Yes.
And there was also a Zacapa XO. And interestingly enough, we both came away thinking that the Zacapa 23 was a little bit better than the Zacapa XO. And in talking to a bartender that we met on our next island, he suspects that we may have had those two glasses flipped around.
Yeah, and I had mentioned that too when we were there. I'm like, wonder if these are right, if they got flipped or not. Because looking at them, they are the exact same color.
Yes, they are. They are. Now, they were both absolutely fantastic.
They're
the
delicious.
Zacapa 23 rum is you can't go wrong. If you happen to find a Zacapa XO, I would give that one a try too.
Yeah. This was a great day to end the trip on.
Well,
and Kauai on, I should say.
we ended Kauai.
We ended Kauai on this trip, yes.
Now, Alicia, what did you say to me as we were off to the airport the next day about Kauai? Do you remember?
Bad Luck Island? I don't know.
You said to me, Kauai's great. We're not coming back here anytime soon.
Is that what I said? Okay.
I am now 0 for 2 for being in Kauai and getting pretty significantly injured.
Yes.
Second degree burns last time and pretty substantially messed up my knee this time.
The first one was definitely your fault.
100%
This
my
one
fault.
was not your fault.
No, this was not my fault at all. But yeah. I tried to go to an urgent care on Kauai when y'all were off at the Hindu temple and Caitlin was hiking and stuff like that. And the one urgent care that was closest to the resort, their X-ray tech wasn't in that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, then this is pointless because
Nothing you can do.
you're not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd go to urgent care when we got over to Oahu. And that's where we're going to leave you off. We'll pick up this story next week. Does Nathan get his knee fixed in Hawaii? No, I don't get my knee fixed in Hawaii.
They already
Anyhow.
have it. We talked about this earlier. So
Yeah, very true. Like, spoilers. Yeah, so we will split this up because this is going a little longer than we were thinking it would. And
We like to talk.
we'll talk it, yes. But next week, we are going to talk about the Aulani Resort. And
Oahu, yeah.
Disney's
And what we did
Aulani Resort on Oahu, out on the west side in Ko'olina, is absolutely gorgeous. And Alicia and I cannot wait to get back there.
Yeah. I'm going to clarify. We are not necessarily talking about the Aulani Resort. We are talking about our vacation while we were over at the Aulani
Very
Resort.
true.
We will definitely do a deep dive into the Aulani Resort another time when we
Yes.
go over our DBC things. But the next time we talk with you all, or the next time we talk at you all, it will be to go over our vacation on Oahu.
Yes. So our time at Aulani, which was fantastic. We visited the Kualoa Ranch, which was incredible. Just so
no. What
fun
are you
to
doing?
go there.
Why are you saying all this stuff? This is for...
It's a teaser.
Wow.
And we did a bunch of other stuff too. You don't want to miss it.
All this to say, Kauai is beautiful.
Yes.
We loved exploring this island the last time we were here, and we loved exploring it this time with the kids. And I think both of the kids fell in love with it a little bit as well.
Yep. 100%.
I know Caitlin really wanted to do a lot of hikes while she was there.
Yes. And if you can manage not to break yourself while in Kauai, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Well, I'll give you some more advice. Just remember, we're not affiliated with Disney or their subsidiaries. These are personal opinions and suggestions based on our own experiences. We recommend working with a travel agent or contacting Disney directly to plan your perfect vacation.
We're not affiliated with Hawaii at all either.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. If you have any questions or suggestions, or if you would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experience, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com. We would love to talk to you about your trips.
100%. You can follow us on social media. We're at Our Mousecapades. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube.
Please give us a rating and review in your podcast app. It really helps people to find us.
And of course, don't hesitate to share us with your friends and fellow Disney lovers of all ages.
Thank you for listening. We will be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.